All right, guys, this is the Voltour Patriot. It's a 750 watt folding fat tire e-bike, 20 by 4 inch tires. Very reminiscent of the electric XP in white. Comes with black fenders. That's one of my dislikes, actually. And mechanical disc brakes, a 11.4 amp hour battery here in the down tube, and a range of probably 30 to 40 miles if you ask me. I haven't tested it out yet, but everything folds in this bike: the pedals, the frame, and the handlebar, of course. And here's a look at the cockpit. Got kind of these cheap plastic grips. You've seen these on the Crooked Path Rogue, for example. A nice big plus and minus for the PS levels. Power's here. Get your lights over here and the mode button. Come back to the display in a second. Twist throttle on the right, and your typical 7-speed Shimano shifter. Here is the display. Let me take the thing off here. It's a little bright in the sunlight here. Let's see if I can get a better look for you. So 5 levels of assist: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Your basic, that's the lights. You got a odometer, miles. I got 22 miles on this so far, and trip, and not sure what that is. Basic stuff. No percentage on the battery, just the bars there, and pretty basic looking folder. You know, it's not a bad bike. $15.99 on the Voltour website. All right, this bike weighs about 67 pounds, and the payload capacity is a max 300 pounds. The minimum seat height is listed at 30.7 inches, so 30.7 inches is the lowest you can put that seat for you shorter riders. It looks, it's kind of reminiscent of the electric XP in white, minus the white fenders. Not sure why they didn't go with those. Would look much better in my opinion. But it's a pretty torquey e-bike, a lot of power off the line. The speed is limited by the PAS levels, so keep that in mind. I think the power delivery is a little bit rough. I kind of feel a little bit of a pulsation as the motor turns back there, so it doesn't seem like it's quite delivering the power in a smooth manner. Just from my initial tests here, but the power itself is good, and it's probably the biggest selling point of this e-bike. So one of the problems I had out of the box was this frame latch. It was not locking properly. It wasn't lining up with the little slot in that main folding latch. So I had to unscrew it a bit just to bring it out more outwards from the bike. Once I did that, it lined up more with the slot, and I could actually lock the folding latch in place. The other problem I had was the derailleur guard was bent into the derailleur. So I had to basically take a pair of pliers and pull that out. It was not shifting at first. That's how I discovered it, and realized that the derailleur guard was basically just pushing up against the derailleur. Here's a look at the front headlights. I've seen it before, nothing to write home about. In the back, though, there's only a rear reflector. It's not even a brake light. I thought for $15.99 they'd give you a nice working brake light back there, but I guess not. The seat, it's okay. It's got a handle on it, which I like. Other than that, it's kind of hardish. You might want to change that out. Overall, I think it's a bit overpriced for what you're getting here, particularly when you look at the, compare it to the electric XP, short range version with a 10 amp hour, only at $9.99. You're basically getting everything except the 750 watt motor there. So that's the only, that's probably the biggest negative of this bike. So one of the biggest complaints about these folding e-bikes is that the key has to go underneath the e-bike. The electric XP is famous for this, and it's probably one of the top complaints in that bike. But the Voltour folks have figured this out. I'm going to show you what they did here. So they actually solved the problem of having to have a key in the bike at all times, right? So let's open it up and show you what it looks like. I had to pop open the little latch there with a pair of snips so I could get the bike to unfold. It's a little bit tricky in this case. It kind of sticks in there a bit, so I use those to just pop it out. Now I'm going to unfold the bike here. Just grab the handle, push it towards you, and you can set it down on its side like so. Now you can see the battery area exposed there, and I'm going to pick it up here, and voila, there is a key slot or key holder right there at the bottom of the battery. So the folks at Voltour seem to have figured this out. Maybe Electric can do the same one day and put the key slots on the battery there itself. So nice job, Voltour. Glad somebody finally figured this out instead of having to have the key hanging off the body of your bike at all times. So nice job. Alright, let's check these PS levels. On PS1, I'm doing 7.5 miles an hour. The bike's barely working. Bump it up to 2. Get a nice little burst there. Up to, let's see here, looks like about 11.5. Yep. PS3, 16.3 miles an hour. PS4, you can hear that motor coming on. We're at 22.4. PS5, here we go. I just felt a huge burst of power there. 27.5. Let's see, blow a leg into it. And there's 28, we hit 28. So, last 3 bike, unlocked. Here's the hill test. We'll do throttle only in the first part, and then levels out a bit. And then we'll kick it into 5th gear with some pedaling. So good kick off the line there, up to 12.5 already. 13.6 miles an hour. Yep. 13.8 gaining speed here. 14.6, 15 miles an hour throttle only. That's 16 miles an hour throttle only. Wow, it's really kicking in there. So this is a 750 watt, and I think it shouldn't drop below 10 once we get up on that hill up here. We're at 18. Climbing a hill, we're doing 19 miles an hour. That's pretty good. So this is definitely a good hill climber. All right, we'll switch over to pedaling. Oh, it's got cruise control. My cruise control just went on because I held the throttle down for a few seconds. So we're in gear 4, PS5, 12.5. Yeah, this is a really good hill climber. 12, 11.6, 11.5. Wow, that was 11.5 was the lowest. That's a really good hill climber. Really good power from this Voltour. Definitely on par with a little bit better than most of my e-bikes actually. So nice job with the power delivery there. So if you're looking for a hill climber, this is definitely one you could consider. Seven, 28. Some brakes. Yeah, and brakes don't squeak. That's a good thing. A little bit soft though at lower speeds, and at higher speeds they tend to work pretty good. So there's your Voltour Patriot folding fat tire, 20 by 4-inch tires, $15.99. Let's talk about likes and dislikes. So likes, I like the tires, 20 by 4s. Those are nice. And yeah, you don't have to put the key in the underneath, which is always a pretty cool thing. You can see the lock for the battery is right here. So just use it inside. What else? The power is good. 28 miles an hour, unlockable. I like the white color. And that's about it for likes. Dislikes, I wish this came with white fenders. It would have looked much better, I think, instead of this two-tone black they look like they got going on. The derailleur was bent. That was a negative. That's more of a shipping issue. The folding latch there was a pain, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. But and overall, it's just kind of an unrefined power delivery, I would say. It needs to be a little bit smoother coming off the line. It's very torquey, which I kind of like and don't like. My Rattan was like that, and I do appreciate that. Like particularly crossing the streets, this is great at that with that throttle. Once you give it to it, good cable management as well up there. That's not bad. And there's no rear brake light. There's just a cheap reflector back here. I mean, for $15.99, throw a working brake light on there, in my opinion, right? But it's going to be hard for this to compete against the electric XP for $9.99, given that you basically get everything here except for the 750 watt and a slightly bigger battery instead of a 10 amp hour. So keep that in mind. But if it's something you like, check out the link in my description, and I'll see you next time on Crisscrossed. Thanks for watching.